Hi, Dr. Fred DiDomenico with Tuesday Morning Transformation. Guess what we're going to do today? We are going to poke on your consciousness. We're going to wake up something inside of you with today's message. It's like, hey, we're knocking on the door. We're opening up your mind. We're going to let your spirit shine through because we're spiritual beings on a human journey. So what are we going to talk about today? Respect each other's reality. What's that mean? Hey, we're spiritual beings going through a human life. You guys know that. And respect each other's reality means that we're all on our soul path, and everybody's got a different soul path. One of the NLP presuppositions, which is really the foundation of life coaching, is the map is not the territory. What's that mean? That means if you're at point A and you want to go to point B, two people may take totally different paths, yet they can get to the same point. But the path we take may be completely different emotional experiences, interpretations, and meanings that we assign to life. That's the foundation of respect each other's reality, because we have different perspectives. Now, every spirit seeks consciousness of ourself. What's that mean? As a spiritual being going through human journey, we seek to know our spirit. We seek to be in a higher consciousness. Isn't that really why we're here? We're here to come back to where we've always been, right? It says in our Lord's Prayer, we can create heaven on earth. Well, isn't that really it? We can be conscious of that. So when we respect each other's reality, we look at people as another person on their soul journey. We don't have to judge what's on the outside or what's on the inside or decisions. We may choose to not agree with that, but yet unity is one of the highest principles of humanity, meaning there's a little bit of all of us in every one of us, because we're all humans, we're all souls on a path. Now, David Hawkins was a quantum physicist, used kinesiology to test consciousness, and he created the map of consciousness. And what he determined is 78% of all people function at a weakening consciousness. What's that mean? 8 out of 10, let's go to the 80-20 rule. Basically, 8 out of 10 have self-limiting beliefs, and they function at a consciousness that actually weakens themselves. That leaves 22%. Now, when we look at the map of consciousness, and we get into higher consciousness, love, he has, what's your consciousness? What's the physical manifestation? Love creates revelation. What's that mean? When you function at and vibrate at unconditional love, your mind transcends to a new view of life. That's revelation. More things are revealed at a higher consciousness. Now, if we go up one level and we go to joy, what's that create? Transfiguration. So when we have operate at total joy, when we enjoy life, when we are in joy, we can actually change physical matter. That's transfiguration. We can actually heal disease in our body. We can change physical matter. When we go to peace, the physical effect is illumination. What's that mean? The white light of our spirit radiates out of us. We actually illuminate. That literally changes the consciousness. And so there's a quote, that's an affirmation and an incantation that I do frequently, is, I now vibrate to the energy of love, illumination, bliss, and infinite peace. And when you say that and when you vibrate at that level, you can change the consciousness and affect the consciousness of 10 million people. 10 million. Okay? I now vibrate to the energy of love, illumination, bliss, and infinite peace. 10 million people. That's pretty amazing. There's 22 known sages that vibrate at that level. Okay, now I look at Jesus, and I'm not teaching religion, but I think it was a pretty enlightened guy, had a higher consciousness, and he said we can do all the things that he did and greater. Okay, maybe I'm just dumb enough to believe him. So we're on the path to say, wow, if we can do that, and rather than 22, what if we had 122 or 1,022 or 1,022 people that vibrate at that consciousness that can affect 10 million people each? Now look, this isn't a Miss America contest, right? I'm not saying I want to end all war and end world hunger and we want world peace. That's not what it's about, right? There's always humanity in the general consciousness. There will always be pain. There will always be darkness, just the way there will always be light. But see, change is constant. Raising in your consciousness as you go on your soul path is optional. So if we choose to stagnate, guess what? You can only coast one direction. Which way is that? So if your spirit is life force, and it's always growing, and it seeks growth, and it seeks consciousness of ourself, we get to choose what direction we're growing. I choose to raise my consciousness. I choose that, you know, maybe we can affect 10 million people, because I want to affect 100 million and actually 1 billion. Because if we can do that, and we can create other masters. See, masters master themselves. The only difference is masters always choose love. So I choose to attempt to master myself, right? And that's why we have Tuesday morning transformations, because if you really want to do it, you got to teach it. So I'm on this path. If other people want to go with me, that's great. You're on your own path. You probably know more than I do because you're a spiritual being. So here's the thing. Why don't we choose to raise consciousness? Why don't we choose to vibrate at the energy of love, illumination, peace, and infinite bliss? When we look at someone, we don't judge what's outside. Because if we want to know God, first of all, look in the mirror and look in your own eyes. If you want to see God in the physical world, look in the eyes of other people. Because that's where He is. He's all around us. It doesn't matter what the physical manifestation is. It doesn't matter how you dress, what language you speak. Isn't that Martin Luther King, right? Wanted to end racism. Gandhi, hey, he's got a day. Martin Luther King has a day. No, I don't need a day, because DiDomenico Day would be really too hard for everybody to pronounce. But the bottom line is, what if we can operate at that consciousness? We can feel unity. We can see God in other people. We truly can vibrate to the energy of love, illumination, bliss, and infinite peace. What's the bottom line? We're just going to be a lot happier. And the probability that we're going to fulfill our sole purpose and make an impact in humanity while we're here is really great, because life and every experience is like dropping a rock in a pond. Those waves are infinite in the universe. Let's raise our consciousness. Let's feel unity. Let's love each other and vibrate at that level. See you next week.